men are not financially confident, that's who they run to, the bigger girls, because most
Yeah.
big girls are going to have good credit, have some money, and be able to help take care of them.
And
Because
cook.
bigger woman says help. Smaller woman says, oh, I have to carry that load. Oh, I got to take care of her.
Problem with the internet and anybody just can come on here and say fucking anything they want to say. Y'all new fake ass, dumbass dating gurus. Y'all know absolutely nothing. The fact to be like broke men go to big women because big women, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because honestly, the men, the broke ones, they're running through the bad bitches. They're running through the educated bitches. Let's be very, very clear on that. Like, y'all looks and whatever your status is not holding you with these men. Y'all still out here being baby mothers. Y'all still out here letting these motherfuckers lay on your couch and you're fucking taking care of them. Okay? I ain't never had one of my big ass friends lay on my couch crying about no motherfucking man being broke trying to take advantage of her. But I've had plenty of my bad bitch friends do it. Okay, get up in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to convince me, a broke ass man who ain't worth the fuck, crying in her motherfucking designer X, Y, and Z about a broke ass man. So we need to stop that whole motherfucking lie that broke men gravitate to big women. Fuck out of here. Be very clear. Broke men gravitate towards weak-minded women, period. If you a dodo bird, if you're not confident, if you have no self-esteem, you're gonna be a mark and you're gonna be taken advantage of. Period, point blank. And it has nothing to do with your motherfucking looks. Because if your looks was motherfucking A1, a lot of you would not be out here crying. Or let's use the other lie y'all be using, I'm single by choice. Bitch, you a whole fucking lie. You're just weak. So stop this whole BBW slander that broke men gravitate towards bigger women because they can take advantage of them. Bitch, we've seen a bunch of celebrities who are bad bitches that could throw that notion right out the motherfucking window that been taking care of motherfucking broke ass men. Shit. Half the broke ass men is your fucking homegirl and your aunties and all that other shit is right there at your family functions. So please stop trying to be a motherfucking dating guru, especially when you don't know shit. Just stop it. Please, just fucking stop.
In the claps because, yeah. Have y'all ever noticed that? I hope you guys were cringing every time she used the cuss word because she cussed like a sailor. I've never heard, well, I have, but if the fellas was, if you most likely are watching later or now, if you see this and you see somebody cussing like this, would you absolutely say, hey, this is somebody I want to bring home to my mom? Just crazy, that video where the lady was speaking about quote unquote fat girls being able, whatever, dudes picking them because they're not whatever financially confident. I don't agree that they pick them because they're not financially confident. I agree with some of what she said. They prey on feeble-minded people or women, whatever. But I've seen very few baddies with broke men these days. I've seen very few nice, beautiful, nice figure, whatever. You go to Instagram, those are the women. I find it very unlikely that they will be taken advantage of by a broke man. Because when you ask them what they're looking for in a man, especially younger, the first thing they're going to say is the money, the finances. They don't want a broke man, or how much would it take? And they give you some super ridiculous number. Oh, he needs to be making $300,000 a year to date me. I'm like, wait, that's like less than what, 1%? How many of us making $300,000 a year? Not many at all. But so when she says that, whatever. Now, I would say this. The reason why some men will go for bigger women is not because they're so feeble-minded, but what I've been told, they're a little bit more accommodating. They will deal with more from them. They will allow some things, or they will go out their way for them. They will show up to your house with a whole bag of groceries whatever. Just that's unfortunate, but that's what they're saying. I don't think it's because they're dumb. I think it's a lack of, it might be self-esteem. Might be some mental issues there where you feel like, hey, this is all I got. I got to do for him, because if I don't, I'm going to lose him or something like that. And yes, bigger women, because your SMV is not as higher as somebody who looks, who is physically more attractive, you feel like I got to go the extra mile. I have seen that. And most of the time, the men, when they share with me, that's what they're saying. They will go the extra mile for you, where the baddies, quote unquote, will not. They won't do much. You pretty much are doing for them majority of the time. And so I don't think it's more or less that I don't see many baddies getting taken advantage of. I've seen some nice looking women that actually were taken advantage of, but it's very few and far between. They may fall for Pookie and Ray Ray when they're younger or whatever. But I saw a video that kind of substantiates, but first of all, I want to post this. This chick actually said this. Let me not get ahead of myself. She said, I'm a plus size, and I never had a broke man and never took care of one. Actually, my ex-husband spoiled me, so I'm used to being treated a certain way. Now, to this, I said, okay, if he's used to treating you a certain way, which means you pretty much got your way, why is he your ex-husband? Things that make you go, if he was this, and he spoiled you, and you never had to take care of him, why is he now your ex-husband? That's a mind-boggling situation right there for me. I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, when I'm seeing you post, and I asked her, I said, okay, well, if he was that, why is he your ex? She never replied. So I wonder why he's your ex, ma'am, because if he was all that and he spoiled you, that means you got your way. Why is he now your ex? Make it make sense for me. But I did post this and I got very few responses, but here's my check. This is what Derek makes in a week span. I work 32 hours a week. And after everything that comes out from New York City, I come home with, can I make this bigger for you so you can finally see what I really make? This is what I'm bringing home. I'm going to bring this up. $291. This is what I'm bringing home. Now, if you are a lady, and this is what I'm bringing home, I deserve a beautiful woman that does whatever, that submits to me and everything else. She needs to be able to accept me and marry me, even though I'm making this. And if you don't, then you're a hater, you're nasty, you're mean, you're everything under the sun, because you won't marry me and I make $291 a week. I'm high value at this point. I make $291 a week. I'm high value. I'm at the top of the SMV. All of you want me because this is what I make. And if you don't, something's wrong with you. You cannot call me broke. That's nasty. You're broke shaming. And I know I'm being hyperbolic, but you think about it. That's how stupid it is. For you to put something on a plate and say, hey, men, this is our worst. You need to love it. You need to accept it. And we're going to come up with every other connotation of positivity so we can force feed this castor oil down your throat. Pause, but not really. But the second we post the check, that's $291 a week. Now you're like, I wouldn't marry him. He broke. You got to keep things in its proper perspective. Don't be hypocritical, because we find value in you. You seem to say, oh, you're going to deal with it. But for us, it's the other way around. But I want you guys to see something. This is going to bless you, fellas. This is going to bless you. Check it out.
How old are you?
21,
Where are you from?
Guatemala.
What do you look for in a guy right now?
He's funny and he treats me well.
What about the money?
I don't care.
Not at all?
No,
So he doesn't even have to make 100K.
no.
Let's say you made 100K. How much should he make?
I don't care. I really don't care about money.
What do you care more about then?
His personality,
Yeah.
yes.
So let's say I wanted to take you on a first date, right? Where would you want to go?
Maybe to eat something, I don't know, to a restaurant.
What if I said, let's go to Burger King?
It's okay. I love Burger King.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Hamburger, maybe. I really don't care.
Okay. What gave you that mentality?
I don't know, maybe my parents raised me well. So I never really care about money.
So you see what she had to say. A while ago, I spoke about passport bros and how I'm not necessarily with the movement, them going to get passports and going somewhere else to try to find wives. No, they're not going to clap cheeks. A lot of them are going to find wives because they're finding out or they're realizing, or to their perspective, that they can't find quality women here. When I saw this video, I said, whoa. This is the first time in a long time because I watched Kendra G, I watched this guy, I watched all the street interviews, and most of the time it's like, he needs to make this, he needs to make this. So it was refreshing, but you see, she's not from here. She's from Guatemala, one of the places that the fellas go to find wives. So I said, well, let me find the very first Black woman. I don't care what she says. The very first Black woman I see, this is the clip that I'm going to use. Because there were many, I just said, nope, I'm the first one I see. If she Black, that's the one I'm posting, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. Let's see what happens. And so this is the first one I saw. Let's check it out. Y'all ready? Woo!
How much money do I have to make to date you?
More than me.
Which is?
I can't tell you that, but I make, a pretty good penny.
Okay. So
You can't make this shit up.
So, do you think that when you shake ass in the camera and stuff, like men are gonna look at this and be like, that's a girl who I want to make my wife?
I don't give a fuck. I don't want these. Man, let me tell you something, baby. I was raised by my father. Fuck you niggas. I date one of you niggas and I keep two in the chamber.
So,
At all times. Fuck you niggas. I don't give a fuck. I'm my wife.
do you not want to be a wife one day though? Do you not want to be a wife one day though?
When I'm old.
When you shake ass, I need to know your connotation of wife.
Yeah.
Because I'm a lot of niggas' wife.
Okay.
But I'm a lot of niggas' type.
Do you have a ring?
I got a few.
plenty. I got plenty of rings.
Bitch, I forgot to put my other
I'm
pinky ring
iced
on.
I'm iced out. Let me put the light on that shit.
But has a man ever?
Let me put the ice on that shit. Yeah.
Listen, I know y'all saying, wait, all of them ain't like that. I get it. But see, you got to understand, and I feel sorry for my younger brothers because this is pretty much what's out here for you, unless you go really, really digging. This is what's out here for you. The mouth, the aggression, the masculinity. I'm sitting up here like, good Lord. And I guarantee you, if I was to run a search and just say the first 5, I guarantee you out of pretty much almost all of them, this is what you're going to see. Because they love the hood bandit nature of some of these people. You got these eyelashes look like Venus flytraps. You got all this hair everywhere. I'm sitting up in like, what in the world? And if I say something about it, you already get mad. And I understand you say I found the worst one. I didn't find the worst one. I picked the first one I saw. That's it. Nothing else. I said, let me go find the first one. Regardless, I'm going to pick it. And I guarantee you, Natalie, if I was to pull up 10, 7 of them would be this way. The younger generation, I didn't say our generation, the younger generation, 7 of them gonna be this way. I guarantee it. I guarantee I would put my week's paycheck out for it. I guarantee if you go and say out of the first 10 we see, 7 of them gonna be this way. 7, and I'm not saying majority of them this way because we got to encompass all of them from all age ranges. I'm talking the younger ones. For my younger gentlemen, this is what you're going to see majority of the time. I guarantee you. In your neighborhoods, unless you go out. Unfortunately, I know this is a hard thing. Pause. And I'm pretty sure if I was to go find men, it would probably be the same way. And I'm pretty sure there are other platforms that do that. But this is not it. This is a man platform. If you want me to be equal down the board, you're in the wrong place because we've heard enough of you. You've not heard us and what we see. I opened up the show with a woman that was hyper aggressive, hyper masculine, wow. This is crazy. Whew. You can't make this up. And what did the Guatemalan girl say? She said, my parents raised me to be this way. What did the other girl say? I was raised by my dad and F this and F that and nah. But anyway, I thought that was very interesting. And I knew it was going to ruffle some feathers and it's cool. But I can't help if you go out into the street and do street interviews and just talk to people. And just talk to them. Don't have a camera up because people in front of a camera, they tend to wild out. That's true. But they tend to show themselves. Wait, let me go here. Why is twerking such a thing? You can't wait to get in the camera and the first thing you want to do is pop your thought pockets. Why is that? To the younger generation, not the whole encompassing, but there is a lot of aggression. Black men, we've been saying for a long time, one of the things we don't like about our women when we go looking for girlfriends, wives, whatever, potential partners, one of the things we don't like is the hyper-aggression, you're masculine, and you're aggressive. When I just showed you, was that hyper-aggressive, hyper-masculine? I mean, you can't make it up. Speaking of making it up, well, let's do something different. I got to show you this. This is going to mess you up.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I'm off of that. I'm off of that. But what you're about to see right now, I used to work at this store called Value City, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar. Maybe wherever you're from, they may have a Value City. I'm not sure. I haven't gone scouring and shopping everywhere. But one of the things that used to always happen to me, well, not always, but it happened enough times for me to be teed off. You go home, you say, ooh, hey, my mom made me some good lasagna. I'm going to take it to work. I'm going to put it in the fridge, put my name on it and say, hey, do not eat or whatever, right? Pause. And then you find out somebody ate it. You go looking for the food during your break or lunch hour and you look and it's not there. Don't you just hate that? That's probably one of the reasons why I never really bring, not that, I have time to cook here, but I would never bring something and not keep it with me. Now, I kind of trust the people I work with, especially my front office people, the administrative staff, which is I'm part of administrative staff. We got our own fridge. They pretty much don't mess with it. But when you go in the other refrigerator, you run a risk there. And I know some of you experienced where somebody's eating your stuff and you just don't like it. But what if you were able to get back at them? Not quite this way, though. Listen, if ever there was a time to get back at somebody, that was it. You actually, now, how many of you actually think that was a used utensil? Now, I guess the question would be, Would that person go to jail for that? Do you think that person would go to jail for putting that in that fashion? Do you think that person would go to jail for that? I would say no. And the reason why, because you were eating something that wasn't yours. And so you ran a risk and you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. What was it? It was a condemnation. It was a condemnation, is what it was. But I don't think they should go to jail for that. I would have, because the thing is, it had my name on it, possibly do not eat. You decided that you was gonna eat my food, and you paid the price. I don't think, listen, how in the world, I used to watch this show called The Wire, right? And the drug dealers got robbed, and they wanted to go to the police and say, hey, I got robbed as a drug dealer and I need you to press charges. That's kind of like what this is. You were stealing, but then you got caught stealing and it didn't turn out favorably for you. And now you decide that, oh, I need to press charges. Nah, it's not that serious. Oh, well, hey, listen, listen, you listen, I only got one time to say this.
The more you around, the more you're going to find out.
You eat my stuff, you ran that risk. Now, I guess the question I asked before is, was it full? Was it full? I guess that's the question. Well, anyway, people, we got to get going because, like it or not,
here we go again. Here we go again.
Jada Pinkett, again, again, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Every year she says something is always something that Will Smith is like the punching bag for. I'm trying to figure out, what did he do to you that make you feel like you need to do this? My significant other was to pull something like this. I would definitely not be so passive. I guess I should say. Have you noticed Will Smith has yet to say anything negative about her? Anything negative, anything negative. She gets on there and she starts to say a whole lot of things, trying to promote her book. And I know people are saying, well, she promoting her book, they're going all the way to the bank. No, she's going all the way to the bank because it's not his. And if you need to sell a book at my expense, that's a book that I don't want. That's not a fictional thing. This is real. This is nonfiction. And I don't like the fact that she's using I really believe. Now, I've said this, Miss Lynn can probably attest to this. My friends can attest to this. I've said this numerous times. Will Smith must be getting ready to come out with something, a new movie or something, because every time he's about to do something, here this bullshit starts to happen. Have you noticed? Every time Will Smith about to be in a movie or he's about to do something huge, it's always some bullshit that she got to pull to make sure she gets her attention too. Do you know how incredibly disheartening that is to marry somebody who's in competition with you when you're not competing? Will Smith's value is way higher than hers. So there really is no competition. Think I'm lying? Name her last role where she starred. You mad that he got slapped for a reason. I mean, Will has said all of this when he was in the book she wrote. Well, I'm not buying that book. And I love to read. I love to read. Y'all probably figured that out. I'm a reader. I read books, not with the bitches, musicians, y'all, dog, cat, air mattress. No, I read books. Like one time, last year, I was out of town to visit my mom, and I bought a book. And I read that book in a short amount of time. It was a very good book. What was the name of that book? Golly, what was the name of that book? But it was a book. It was a very good book. It was about this dude, right? He married this chick, and I guess he had an affair on her, and he was being stalked and everything else. But it turns out that, Raekwon Sunday. But it turns out that this chick was crazy. She was stalking him, she was killing people, and everything else. But in the end, the other woman was his wife, who had a split personality that she developed after something traumatic happened. And that book had me captivated. I couldn't stop putting this book down. I mean, I couldn't stop. And the very last book that I read recently was another book. It was about who read the chick that always write books about church and mess that happened in church. I don't know why I'm addicted to her work, but that book was really good. I did a show on it. I talked about it. That was one of the more recent books. The books I'm reading now, y'all not interested. You're not. But I love to read. Point is, as much as I like to read, I won't be reading this book because there's nothing in this book I care about. But something did stand out. She said they never called each other wife and husband, and they have been separated since 2016. I'm not the smartest person, for real. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not the smartest person, but even my dumb self said, wait a minute, wait a falcon minute. 6-7 years split, separated, not calling each other husband and wife. That's marriage is over. That's not a marriage. What is this? What? We're not calling each other husband and wife. We're not living together. We're separated. What is that? I mean, separation for 7 years, 6-7 years. That's no. There ain't nowhere in the world. That's not a separation. It's a divorce without the papers. And for whatever reason, there is no divorce outside of, I really feel sorry for Will, but I'm sorry, Will, you giving me this vibe right here. Because she continues to embarrass you every single time. And only a simp, this is textbook simp. When a woman ain't showing that kind of affection towards you, and what's affection that men desire? It's not the kissing and hugging and pulling and all that stuff. It's not the affection. It's the respect that you will give your man, if for nothing else, keep our junk secret. This is one of the reasons why I tell everybody to say, you don't owe everybody on Facebook, you don't owe us anything. We don't have to know your relationship status. We don't need to know who you with. We don't need to know none of that. Oh, you not put me up on Facebook. It's not they falcon business who I'm with. Keep your junk private because you don't have to explain. Why we put our business out on the street? You don't do it. People don't need to know who you with. They don't need to know your private life. I told y'all numerous times I'm a hacker. I have a master's in this. So I know what the falcon I'm doing. And I warn you not to do it for that reason. But you don't owe people that you don't know. I got over close to 6,000 followers and another 6,000 on Instagram. I don't really care about all of that. Some people, they live by it. They climax when they get a new follower. I'm just cool. And I love y'all. I thank you for being here. But it's not what floats my boat. But good Lord, 6,000 people I don't know. And I love y'all, but I don't bring you into every facet of my personal life. We're going to do a Q&A session in a little bit. But even then, I'm not taking no questions about my personal life. If it's about my professional life or my thoughts about professionalism, I will take those questions. But anything about my personal life, about my mother, father, sister, brother, dogs, cats, rats, roaches, fleas, spiders, anything about that in my personal life, I'm not going to bring it up because it's not your business. And why is that important? Because the less I share with you, the less I have to explain if something goes wrong. Now, when you are married, everybody's going to see your wife. There should be, because you're going to do that in public. Everybody's going to see you take these vows. But as far as your relationships, take my advice. That relationship is between you and that woman, or you and that man, or that man and that man, and that woman, that woman. I don't discriminate. Whatever that is, whatsoever you may do, keep that junk off of Facebook. A lesson that dear friend JADA hasn't picked up, which is why she receives so much of this negative backlash. She doesn't listen. She wants to compete with this man. She doesn't respect him. She doesn't love him as much, which is what a simp is. Fellas, a simp is somebody who loves a woman and shows a woman that he loves her more than she does you. Respect is the ultimate way that she shows that she loves you. She respects you. She loves you. She adores you because she respects you. And that part in the submissive part, we ain't talking about that today, but for real. But she doesn't love him. She doesn't love him. She don't love that man. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. But somebody else took the time out. And you know, JADA, she definitely be on one. When she be talking, first thing come to my mind is,
this is bullshit.
It's just a whole lot. And at the end of the day, most of the stuff she be saying be cap. She'd say anything to sell a book. It's cap. Somebody else went out and exposed this. This lady up on TikTok actually took the time out and did the research. Now, I pride myself on doing research. I pride myself. But she did my work for me. She did my work for me. I love you, lady. And y'all want to see the cap? Here we go.
Is lying, and I have the timeline to prove it. JADA is currently on her Pay Attention to Me tour, and she is making all these wild claims, including that Tupac proposed to her while he was at Rikers. Really? The math isn't mathing, so let's take a look. Tupac was convicted of sexual assault charges on February 8th, 1995. From there, he was sent to Rikers Prison, only to be transferred less than a month later to Clinton Correctional Facility. And she specifically said she went to see him. This was not on the phone.
Book when I go to see him in Rikers, probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there.
Cool. So prior to going into Rikers, Tupac already had a girlfriend named Keisha. He proposed to Keisha, her words, in a September 2011 interview. He proposed to Keisha before he even went into prison. They were already engaged. They got married in April. And in the time that he got sentenced and was taken to prison, Keisha actually moved closer to be by him and be by the prison and saw him on a near daily basis.
When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers.
So you're telling me that in the 3 to 4 week window that he was at Rikers, engaged to another woman who had moved closer to the prison and was there almost every day, Tupac proposed to JADA. But hey, Jess, you might be saying to yourself, Tupac wasn't known to be a one-woman man. He was no angel. Fair enough. Let's see where JADA was during February of 1995, which was, as we've already established, the only time she would have been able to see Tupac at Rikers since he was only there for less than a month. You see, JADA had already met Will Smith in 1994 on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Will Smith was married, so nothing happened between them. But in February of 1995, Will Smith served divorce papers by his wife. 5 days later, on February 19th, Will called JADA and said, "Are you single?" And she said, "Yep." Will said, "We're together now." JADA said, "Cool." And she immediately flew to LA. She flew so immediately that when he called her, she was in Maryland at a brand new house she bought. And she never spent a single night in her new house. That's how immediately she flew to LA. When, in all that time, did you visit Tupac at Rikers and get this fucking proposal? And for the record, Keisha and Tupac stayed married for about 10 months. They got their marriage annulled about 4 or 5 months after Tupac was released from prison. He was bailed out by Suge Knight. It wasn't long after that that he met JADA Jones. JADA Jones is the daughter of legendary Quincy Jones. JADA looks a little recognizable. You may know her sister, Rashida Jones, who played Karen on The Office. JADA and Tupac were living together and engaged when Tupac was shot and killed. JADA was the one that was there with him at the hospital the night he died. JADA was handed his bloody clothes. She was the one who told him, "We all love you," before he slipped into a coma and never woke up. Keisha spoke with Tupac several days before he died, because even though their marriage was annulled, they still remained good friends. And I can't help but notice that all of the women who are actually part of his life in a meaningful way are the ones that have just kept quiet. They've kept silent. They've kept their memories to themselves and not tried to use a dead man as their limelight. And the person who's squawking about him the most is making claims that can't even be verified and don't make sense from the perspective of a verifiable timeline.
So many people in that position don't have support.
Right.
None at all.
None. You know?
He got the best.
He did get the best.
God, you can't make this shit up.
You can't make this shift up. You can't. So all the time you were saying you visited him in Rikers Island, you never did. He never asked you to marry him. So all of that was cap. Like I said, I don't want to read your book. It's a testament to bullshit, in my opinion. And she had people to celebrate. And when she got her book in the mail, you know, those of you who write books, you know how this goes. It is a good moment. A friend of mine who lives in Texas, and he was excited about his book. And you know, when the book comes, you actually open it up. There's people on YouTube that do that, the grand opening, when they get their books and they open it up and they're excited. So she did it, and here's what we saw.
All right, you guys, this is the first time I'm going to see the book. We're all together. I have not seen the book yet. We just got the first time.
Look at the inside.
Wow, this is really beautiful. The introduction to each new section is really standing out.
Yo, this is how I'm being born. Listen, I just flipped straight to this page.
Really?
Will and I are in bed in a rented villa in Cabo San Lucas. It's late summer, 1997.
Jada, you flipped straight to that
I'm
page.
pregnant. Will and I, yeah.
Oh my God, this is when I came. This is when I showed up.
There's so much cool stuff about this book.
I'm so proud of you. Thank you guys for being so supportive.
Absolutely.
You know, I checked out for a little while. But
Yeah.
This was.
But this was hard work.
It was
hard work.
That's real.
This is
Jada.
my baby, my new baby.
Stop. He's not. Y'all don't know how simps work. A simp will do anything to stay in good graces with somebody who he's simping for. If she told that man to run around the building with chitlins hanging out at his butt crack and say oink, 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 he would. That's what simps do. He didn't even look like a husband. He looked like somebody they invited over, a friend of the family who's celebrating with her. And I paused this video. That little mashup of pictures with the kids and everything. Do you see Will anywhere up in there? I mean, you got to look real hard to find them, but you see pictures of kids and everything else. Do you see Will anywhere in there? He is a simp. No, absolutely. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for your support. No turning to him like, I couldn't have done this without you. What in the world are we seeing here? This is toxic in a video. You see one child that looks like a RoboCop reject with his mask all the way up looking crazy. You see his other daughter, her mom. It's all about her. Everything needs to be about you. You know what they call that? A narcissist. That's one of the things that narcissists do. Everything needs to be about them. You can never have a good moment without them. It has to be them. This is her crowning achievement. This is her book. She thinks this book is going to be greater than anything Will Smith ever done. And here you are celebrating. Meanwhile, you look like Homie the Clown up in this mug the whole time.
So what have we learned, if nothing else, children?
That Will Smith is a simp. That's what we've learned. That's a horrible display. You sitting back in the back. No, I'm not clapping for you. When we got done, they'd be like, you tell them one more thing and I'm going to break you off something real. They ain't heard me talking, which bring me to this point, and then we go into PGW. She must have something on him. There has to be something extremely explosive that she's holding. Like that Uno card that y'all gonna be holding, that last one. That one that you say, hey, you don't want me to throw this one out. This that draw 10, bro. It's gotta be something that she's holding because there is no man. I'm not even on that level. I'm a sophisticated, I'm educated, but Will Smith, according to y'all love money so much, he makes significantly more money than me. And as much money as he makes way more. He probably makes 30 times more than I ever could imagine, right? But my wife gonna respect me. My wife will never get on TV and do this to me. She will respect me in that way. Why? Because she will respect the privacy and the sanctity of our marriage and not bring all this attention to it. And she will respect me enough while she's jaw-jacking that it's going to be destroying me. So she said in one video, she said she was worried about him when he went up there and slapped him. When he went up there and slapped Chris Rock. She was worried about him. She didn't look too freaking worried to me. Did she look worried to y'all? No. Then she comes saying Chris Rock actually hit on her. Why would you need to share? Why the Falcon would you need to share that? That's you see what I'm saying? This is crazy. So we are celebrating, some of you, most of you, I gotta applaud y'all because, especially my friends, y'all been lighting her up and she deserves every bit of it. Y'all been lighting up Jada. And listen, if I was Will Smith's friend, I would roast her and then have my camera out. Here we go. I'm about to roast you up here looking like I would be roasting her. And my Facebook friends, I love y'all to death. Y'all been going hard. Once somebody posted that dude from Onyx, the group Onyx, and they posted him with Tupac and said Jada Pinkett with, oh man, yeah. Y'all, and somebody put Jada Pinkett, hashtag Smith, hashtag Hill, or whatever, Gosta, whatever his last name is. Oh man, y'all off the chain. I love my Facebook friend. You know what? I went through I'm still going through one of the most traumatic experiences I've ever had. I graduated with my master's, and one of the things I wanted to do was build a base. I wanted to build a base that was mine. I wanted to put the pieces together, and I took so much pleasure putting that thing together. And with everything preamp in, preamp out, new tuners, new bridge, new pickups, like 4 or 5 pickups, 9 soap bars in there, everything that I put into this base. And USPS lost it. This bass you've heard on numerous records. In fact, that's the bass that's played on Rooftop. The groove that y'all love so much, that's the bass. That bass meant everything to me. And to have that gone, I got to start. And now I got to start over from scratch because I don't want to go out and buy another bass. Unless, of course, somebody makes one for me and it's just for me and to my specs. And then I'm okay with that. But really, this thing was so sentimental to me because I built it. It's my idea. First ever. So some idiot actually tries to play this bass out. It's one of a kind. There is no other bass like it. My logo's on it. It's got the tuning keys with my logos on it. My logo's on the back of it. It's got the nicks and the bruises or whatever, because I've been playing it. And if you are dumb enough to try to play this thing out in public, I will come to see you and I won't be alone. You can take that however you want to take it. But anyway, I don't know. I just thought, but I said all that to say this. Because of you guys, my Facebook friends and everything, I've been seeing your posts and y'all been really keeping my spirits lifted, making me laugh and everything else, because the part of me want to start crying because I love that bass. That's the only bass I really, really love like that. I love all my basses, but that was sentimental to me. That was something because there is no other bass like it. Now I got to make another one. Now I gotta make one. And my friend actually hit me up and he was like, look, I want to sew into you. So he sent me a couple of dollars. And I thought that was nice because it's going to be expensive to put that bass together because I paid a lot of money for it. I paid a lot of money when you consider the preamps and everything else that I put into it. So thank you so much. I'm not gonna put his name out here, but I thank you for you blessing me. That means a lot to me. And I'm gonna get through it, but it was just, you better not ever see that bass. I know they would be stupid because I want to know who that person is to play a one of a kind. It ain't got no selling value because it's a no-namer. It's just got my logo on it and everything else. But outside of that, it's just the regular bass. It sounds phenomenal. I love that bass, but I'll make another, or somebody will make one for me with the specs that I like, because there's a certain combination that I finally found that I really, really like. Now, it's some things, I call it a prototype because of some things, if I could look like I'm gonna have to do it again, that I'm going to do differently. Bass players would probably know, instead of using graphite, I'm going to use steel. I'm used to the way steel resonates differently in my hands. The graphite, it resonates, but it gives me a more open, warm sound. I'm aggressive. I like boom, boom. When I lay it down, I want to feel that thing rumbling under my fingers, pause. So that's one thing I would change. I would change the nut, pause. Oh, Jesus, super pause. But it's a few things. Bass players know, but it's some things I would change. Did you get insurance? Yeah, I got insurance, but they talking about I gotta file a claim with it, and they talking about, oh, it's gonna be a while. You lost my bass. Now, I called today and they said, it may not be lost. We just can't find it, which is dumb. That's like oxymoronic, actually. It's redundant. It may not be lost, but we can't find it. But because when I checked, it's just saying it's in transit. So they're going to go do a sweep, and I opened up a claim. So now when I open up a claim, that means the higher ups are taking notice. But I ran my friend that I just finished speaking with, and Jeremy, we have a mutual friend. He said that the place where my bass was shipped to is one of the worst in the country. How in the heck you a shipping company or you a government shipping company and you get 2 stars? And it seems like I'm not the only one that had to deal with this, them not shipping their stuff on time. That one guy, I read the reviews, it was in there for a couple of months. A couple of months. I miss my bass, y'all. I really do. I mean, I was playing, if you watch Powerhouse Chicago from Sunday morning, you're going to hear me snapping, going off. And I took it out on my bass. The bass mods I love. I'm starting to really like bass mods. Really, they really for a consumer, they're really good basses, really good basses, really good bass. And I was killing that thing Sunday. I played like I had said, and I'm gonna move the preachers going wild, but this is what I said, and this is probably a testament of who I am. With everything that I'm going through with this bass and everything that has happened, I still owe it to give God my best if I'm gonna play. That was my mindset. I still owe it to you to give you everything because without you, it wouldn't be me even playing the bass. And so I'm going to give you everything. Pause. I shouldn't have to pause. I'm talking about God. I'm going to give you everything that I have today and every day that I play. And I won't take that for granted. You gave me this gift, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm still sad about my bass, though. I ain't even going to hold you. Still sad about it, though. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, because we got Q&A, I'm not going to do the prophets today. I know y'all want me to do the prophets. I promise you next week we're going to do it. I just wanted to do this show because Jada Pinkett took up a lot. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. But yeah, next week we're going to talk about, I'm going to next week. If you know any prophets that are real prophets, not none of the fake ones, well, you can add them too. We can talk to them. I want you to ask them, would they like to join me next week on my show when we do Preachers Gone Wild? If you know anybody that has the gift of prophecy that can explain this thing to us in a way that most of us can understand it better, those of us who are confused, those of us who are over it, those of us who really want to hear what the prophets are saying, if you know anybody that wants to join this show and talk about it next week, let them know next week I'm doing a show about prophets. Let them know. And we're going to have Preachers Gone Wild is a fun show, so it's going to be laid back. But I want to hear from the prophets. You guys get a bad rep, and probably from one person that I know. I just have really high standards. But I want to talk to prophets. I want to hear from you. I want to, I want you to be able to, let's have a discussion. Let's have a discussion. But you know what? We still going to have some fun tonight because I've seen this happen before. Y'all tell me if y'all ever seen something like this.
Wait. Pentecost. We ain't finished yet. No ma'am. Hallelujah. I need everybody. I'm gonna walk down the aisle. Come on, keep playing soft. I'm the man in the gas station. Ushers, don't let nobody else out that door. I ain't gonna fall. Okay, but don't let nobody else out. Amen. I'm the man in the gas station. I need y'all to give me $10. Amen. I need everybody to give me $10 real quick. Watch you. The money ain't no good here tonight. $10. Y'all give it to me. I'm coming. I promise you I ain't going to the door for calls. Come on, I need you to give me $10. You got that value. I know. You're a dog. Thank you all. Amen. Thank you all.
How did I know that drummer was going to do something crazy in the end? How did I know he was going to do it? I seen the beginning of this video when I was editing, but how did I know that drummer was going to do something crazy? But anyway, how many of y'all seen this happen? I've seen this happen numerous times. Hey, shut that door. Some churches even don't let you walk during offering. They say this is a sacred part of the service. So they lock the doors, and the ushers be blocking the door. They had a hand, and normally they be doing this, but they you can't walk during this time, which is crazy. You can walk during altar call, but you can't walk during offering. I'm gonna say that again. You can walk during the altar call, but you can't walk during the offering. That's amazingly disturbing to me. And like D Dawkins said, I've seen it plenty of times. Chris, I know, I'm shocked. I'm going to walk out. Listen, I'm going to tell that dude, I got to pee. You better move out my way before I break you off, and you're going to need prayer for real. Or I could just pull it out and pee right now, we can do this one of three ways. You know what I'm saying? What one of those ways not going to happen is me going back to sit down. I don't care about this offering right now. And he lost me when he said, hey, I'm going to be like the man in the gas station. Somebody real quick, tell me, what does that mean? When he said, I'm going to be like the man in the gas station, somebody please tell me what that means. In the meantime, I grew up church guy in Christ. Y'all know that by now. But I have many friends that are apostolics. And one thing I know about my apostolic friends, you're going to get saved, you're going to go in that water. They're going to take you in the water. I think most apostolic churches that I know have a pool, a baptismal pool in the church. Powerhouse has one too. We have one in the church. Most churches, I don't know if most churches now, modern churches with the big stages and the lights and the smoke and everything, do y'all have baptismal pools? Do y'all still do that in church? Now, when I was coming up, we used to go to, was it Lake Etta? They would take you to a real river or lake and you get baptized. And I think it was Lake Etta. Brenda would tell me. But I know they used to take, because my sister got baptized. I just don't remember where it was. But they used to take you down to the water. And they used to sing, take me to the water, take me to the water. My father used to do that when he wanted us to wake up too. He used to get a cup of water and used to, when we wouldn't wake up, we could hear him singing, take me to the water. And I'm like, no, daddy, no, take me to the water. So that song, well, God rest his soul. But yeah, they used to sing those songs when you used to get baptized. But I guarantee you, you ain't seen nothing like this.
Charles Preston said when he was younger, he got baptized because somebody else wanted him to do it. And today he is getting baptized because he has decided to do it in line with his own personal salvation. So we are excited for Brother Charles Preston today. And Brother Charles, we can't dip you in water, but we're going to pour a bottle of water over you and just acknowledge that you have been baptized in the body of Christ. Go ahead, Brother D. Amen. All right, and so, y'all, let's get a man of God a hand clap.
Now, I guess you could say it's the thought that counts. But to me, that was a straight, like, that was kind of like weird to me. Like, if that was me and they come pouring bottled water on me,
Nigga, please.
I want the real deal. Fill this pool up. I get on my knees or something. Y'all gonna dip me, something like that. You gonna pour bottled water on my... You just can't make this up. So let me ask my followers. Does this count? Number one. See, I'm gonna ask questions. Does this count as a baptism? Number two, this is the most important question that I want to ask. If I was baptized before, do I have to get baptized again? If I was baptized before, do I have to be baptized again? Was this necessary? Yes or no? Was this necessary? I want to know. You've been baptized before. Some of us were baptized before we even knew what sin was, but we did a lot of it after that. We did a lot of it. I mean, you might as well, you got baptized. I mean, does this count? You don't have to be baptized again, okay? I need to know because I've seen a lot happen with grown folks. Right, Solomon. We had to do something like that in my church for a dude that got shot. Solomon Williams. This he's a wonderful luthier. I will listen. He knows what I'm going through. He knows firsthand what I'm going through with my bass. But he said, didn't want the pool to get. Whoa. Oh, nope, I'm not gonna go there. No, I need to, because I have to. Let's say, for instance, you in a pool. No, I'm not. I'm leaving it alone. I'm not even gonna go there. Not pouring bottled water on. Yeah, he actually did. I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna leave it alone. I had a church plant, and we used another church to do the baptism. I've seen that before too. Yeah, D said I'm not doing it again. And I always wondered that because I've seen people be baptized. They are baptized more than once. And they say, well, it didn't count. It didn't count. I've only been baptized one time. And I'm not going in that water no more. It's cold. It's cold. And I don't know. I don't think I should have to. I mean, if you can show me scripture reference for that, then I'm all for it. But I'm not going down in that water no more. Inbox. I will inbox you because what I was about to say is about to be really, really wild, and I'm trying to keep preachers going wild. I try to keep that pretty much clean. I try to keep that clean. Speaking of keeping clean, while we up praising God, giving God our all, the bass is going, the drums is going, the keys is going, everybody's doing their thing. It's really going very well for everybody, right? do that, do that, do that, do that, right? Praise whatever your thing is. Some of y'all, 1, wait, yeah. 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 4. That's you, right? But while you're doing that, this is happening.
Total restoration. Total restoration. In Jesus' name.
He is texting. And while he's texting, trust me, I'm going to pause it and I want you to see what he's texting. Read right here. Wait, stop. Is this what they talk about old people texting? I hope this ain't never me. For real, because it's taking him a long time. Look, when you get ready to see what he's texting, some of y'all already know. I'm texting that quick because I need an answer. Okay, we really good. Me too. I hope y'all can see that. I hope y'all can see what he's texting. I'm gonna pause it. I'm about to pause it, and I'm gonna make it pause in advance. Go make it big. Give me a second. He's horrible, bro. You swipe. Got it. Okay, here we go. I'm about to blow this up. You're about to see this happen in real time too, and away we go. He's saying, "You wait. Why it look so blurry?" He's basically saying, "When you gonna let me get some of that good PUSSY tonight?" That's what he's saying. He's texting in church. When are you gonna let me? Are you gonna let me get some of that good punani? That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He's texting somebody, asking her, "When are you gonna let me get some more of that pee?" In church. You heard in Jesus' name. I'm gonna post this video. I'm gonna post it on Facebook after we done. I got it. Now, keep it 100. Some of us have texted some bad things in church. Come on, y'all. Don't lie. Tell the truth, shame the devil. But difference is, we didn't get caught. And there was one video where a dude was actually looking at porn during church. He was actually looking at porn during church. That's a mental illness because you can't even wait till you get home. That's a mental illness. I wonder if you know what, Glennis? That's like a really, really good question. You know what, D? We not doing that. D said, I don't have a problem with that. Man, look, dude, I'm wondering, this old man is texting. The worst thing that happen if she say yes, because she could take you out of here. How did he die? On top of me? Well, this happened. That's all I can say.
This is my exodus. Yeah. This is my exodus. Won't you just tell them that I'm tonight? Lord, thank you for tonight. This is my exodus. Glory Jesus. This is my you, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. My delivering process, my healing, my breakthrough. Deliver me. My God, my God, my God.
Send that to me, Keisha. I need that one. Send that to me. Oh, God. You know, God has blessed me to have opportunities to play for artists that I never thought I'd ever play for. When I was coming up, I used to love to play with the records all the time. LA Mass, Mississippi Mass. Well, that was more tape. My mom I don't remember her ever buying Mississippi Mass records. I remember she buying LA Mass because I used to listen to that and practice to it. Andrew Goucher, one of my favorite bass players of all time. I used to love to listen to this, but one of the choirs that I wanted to play for outside of New G was the Tommies. But I wanted to play for the Tommies before I played for New G. When I first saw New G, I didn't like New G. I didn't like New G when I first saw New G. I really didn't. I thought they was doing too much. I thought they danced too much and everything else. That was my, younger. But then the first time I saw New G and I knew I liked them, we went to this church called Christ Universal in Chicago. And it was the first time they wore their gold and cream robes, right? When the stage, when the curtains went back, it was a lot of clouds and you could see them vaguely, but it looked like angels. And the way the robes were, and I was like, whoa. Shortly after that, my brother and sister joined, and I joined shortly after them because I was a fan from that day forward. But before New G, I was in love with the Tommies. Recently, I was awarded the opportunity to play for them a few times. And it was like a dream come true to play for an artist that I've always wanted to play for. I've always wanted to play for the Tommies, right? But I doubt if Darius Brooks would like this. Let me ask you a question. Does pulling the mic away from your mouth, pause, does that help? I've seen a lot of people doing that, especially recently. It looks crazy because it looked like you doing this, but does that really help? I'm dead serious. Does it help? So y'all listen. If Darius Brooks sees this, Carlos Mooley would scream, and Darius Brooks would throw everything at us. Like, what is that? What is that? What is that? He's funny. Darius Brooks is a character. It's just to see him in action is crazy. That I know he would trip. That was pretty bad. But does pulling the mic away from your mouth, pause, does it really help? Does it help? That's what I want to know. Does that help? But that wasn't the only mishap that it doesn't. This may be too loud, but that's their way of turning it down. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna need them to sing it in the key. You know what, Susan? Be quiet. I need to use that. Thank you. I sing in the key of be quiet. Well, that wasn't the only mishap that somebody sent me. Check this one out.
He's still wonderful.
Thanks, Anthony McGahee. The second person I produced for in Milwaukee. Anthony McGahee's here. Has a wonderful choir. His choir is called Praise Motivated, AM PM. Anthony, if you still have that first record, could you please send that to me? Could you please? There was some great songs on that record too. Yeah, send that to me. He's an amazing writer, by the way. Amazing writer and great lead singer. Anthony McGahee. I'll be in Milwaukee actually Friday, Anthony. I'm in Milwaukee. I got to play with my brother's going to be there. Which brings me to this, since Anthony's here. Do you agree with this? What do you think? This is the first question. What do you think is wrong with gospel music today? If you would say gospel music is struggling, I don't agree necessarily, but that's just my opinion. What do you think is wrong with gospel music today? I guess that's the question. What do you think is wrong with gospel music today? Do you think there's a problem with gospel music? That's the first question, because we're going to the questions now. I got questions that you guys have asked me, and I'm going to answer them. Some of you actually sent me questions, so I took the 10 that I wanted to answer, and but this is a question. This is what I think. I think gospel music suffers because people who don't connect with gospel music don't have any kind of connection with it at all, historically, spiritually, or whatever. They don't have a connection with it. They're determining what gospel music is. If anything would be wrong with gospel music, it would be that. When we start to try to make gospel music conform to some people that can't connect to it. This is my nice way of saying it. We try to go what they doing. CCM and gospel music don't mix. They're two totally different cultures for two totally different groups of people. They don't mix. And no matter how many times you try to ninjarize these songs, they don't mix. That's CCM. Gospel music has a feel. It has a sound. It has a sound. And it's always had a sound. No matter how modern we've made it, it always has a sound. No matter how many times, how many we licks, how many borrowings we do, they still has a sound. When we try to make that sound conform or mix to reach a greater audience, you lose the audience who is really for. This is just my opinion. So shout out to the choirs, to the groups, to the singers who remain true to gospel music, who do gospel music, and that are not trying to conform to what people think is not gospel music. Yeah, you may not sell, really nobody's selling, but you may not be popular, but at least you remain true to it. I love gospel music. That's one of the reasons why I continue to do it. That's why I continue to do it. And so I don't think we should ever conform. I would say the powers that be, industry, has only one carrot, let me see, that they are dangling, but have predetermined it for already selected. I agree with that. I agree with that. The problem is most gospel music doesn't sound gospel. I agree. It's missing something. Right? Gospel artists thinking, hollering, anointing. Well, yeah, but see, I think what we call hollering is what we have done historically. Back in the day, used to call it call and response. It was just our way. I think I don't want to hear a whole album of it, and I don't want to hear a whole album of the vocal Olympics. I don't. I don't want to hear a whole album of the band just ripping everywhere and the choir just saying, Jesus, 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 Jesus. I mean, I don't want to hear that either. But the seasoned gospel artists, your Andre Crouches, back to that day, your Edwin Hawkins, your Walter Hawkins, those songs, those are the songs that resonate the most for me. Those are the songs that resonate to me. And so this new, everybody trying to do the Magic City thing, yeah. Where are they right now? Where's Magic City? What happened to them? I haven't been seeing, like a couple of years ago, you couldn't get on Facebook without seeing somebody singing Magic City songs. Where they at? Where are they? That's what I want to know. Nobody's saying, I mean, I'm sure they still around, but I ain't, Magic City used to be lit. And whatever happened to Sunday service? Whatever happened to that whole situation with Kanye? Whatever happened to that? See, those are the people they thought were going to replace the ones who've been presenting gospel to you over the last few decades. And you crapped on these artists that have been bringing you gospel for Magic City and this choir that what happened? Oh, I'm intentional, by the way. I'm in every word of that. I call it Magic City. I know what it is. I know it's a gimmick. Don't tell them, y'all. Don't tell me. No, I want to know. I want to know. Kanye lost. Oh, you tripping right now. Kanye lost Republican funding. Wow. Kirk not in front of them no more. So you think he was the face? Kanye went crazy. I just want to know whatever happened to them. I mean, and that's no shot. Well, Magic City is a shot, but I want to know what happened to him. That's just I just want to know, just for me. Just for me. And I know people like you say Magic City, I never plan to play for them. So it really don't matter. So somebody sent me a question. First question I'm going to answer. The first question was, do you think we glorify single parenthood way too much as a community? Because I have covered this. Do you think we glorify single motherhood too much as a community? Well, let's just put it this way. Sexy Red just got pregnant. And everybody was on there saying congratulations. Here we talking about the hood bandit of all hood bandits. So I'm sitting up here wondering, what in the world? What do you think this child's gonna be? When Krishan Rock was pregnant, they celebrated her because they got money. Is this what we become as a community where money is just everything? Like money. You got money, you got money, you got money. That's not what raises children. Money doesn't raise children. Parents raise children. Responsible people raise children. Children, that's why I'm totally against children having children. I'm totally against it. I'm totally against 16, 15, 18, whatever. This is not that day. This thing's not, because for one, we can talk about finances because most 18-year-old boys don't have finances to raise a child, but mentally you're not there to raise a child. So, but we celebrate it. I mean, for crying out loud, I've been to churches that had the baby showers there. When I was coming up, they didn't have baby showers there. In fact, if you were single and you had a baby, they wouldn't even Christian your child in front of people. They would take you in the back and Christian you behind closed doors. So they get mad at me when they say, oh, congratulations. I'm not ever going to congratulate a single mother. Never. Because there's nothing to be congratulatory about. Nothing to be. I will congratulate you and your husband, or even your fiance. I will congratulate you, but you just having a baby with some random Pookie and Ray Ray, why would I celebrate that? Another child out here with no father in the home, with mother and father not together. Why would we need to celebrate that? So yes, we do celebrate that too much now, and it needs to stop, to be honest with you. So that's the answer to that question. Second question was, which New G album was the best one you played on? Which New G album was the best that I played on? I would say No Limit. That's my most memorable because it was my first, but No Limit was a challenge for me because it was the first international or national recording I've ever played. So I had to play a record without regurgitating on the carpet of Richard D. Hinton's church, Monument of Faith in Chicago. We wore orange and black. I'll never forget that. I had a nouveau kind of curly kind of thing. I got a decent grade of hair, So pause. So my hair, when you wet it, pause, and you put anything in it, whether it be conditioner or whatever, it's automatically going to curl up, right? I had this Nouveau thing. I thought it was the sweetest thing in the world. I sweated that thing all the way out when that first song hit. And the first song, what was the first song? Was it Holy Place? I can't remember. But my most memorable moment of, I'm not going to tell y'all that. Oh no, I'm not going to share that because I don't want the drama. Y'all messy. Some of y'all messy. Nope. But that was a record where we did No Condemnation, Holy Place, If We Faint Not. We redid You Ought to Been There. What other song was on there? It was a ballad on there everybody liked. What song was on there? No Greater Love. Is that on that record? Have I ever known? I think that song is on there. Oh, let the Redeemer of the Lord say so. And that record for me is, that was my favorite. That was, and reason why? Because we did that If We Faint Not in ludicrous speed. That I don't think I could ever play that song like that anymore. That If We Faint, go listen to If We Faint Not. Go back and listen to it. It's still up. Go listen to If We Faint Not. If you can't shout on that song, you can't shout on If We Faint Not. You just, unless you live in New York. You New York ninjas, y'all be going. I ain't even gonna hold you. But If We Faint Not, yes, whatever you do, we still do that song to this day. And we recorded that song in 2000. That song is over 20 years old, and y'all still request that song. Oh yeah, that album has some hits. But y'all know my favorite one, and None But the Righteous. That's me on the beginning playing two hand on that record. But it was a song on that I love so much. Oh, the Joy. And I'm not even playing on that one. That's keyboard based, but I love that song. Oh, the Joy. Oh, Jesus, I love that song. I might go listen to it. If I didn't think Facebook would go hard at me, I would pull it up on my phone and I would let y'all play it. Oh, the Joy is, I did say No Condemnation. Yeah. No Condemnation, we did like 3 reprises on. We redid The Promise with Mike Taylor. Oh, God. Mike, listen, that organ screamed on that song. That and the way Mike Taylor and Kevin Randolph worked together, one was the producer, one was the MD. The way that they did that was amazing because that's challenging to be MD but not the producer and the producers in the band. It's not hard per se, but it's a challenge because you got to figure out what your lane is and you got to figure out not to overstep and be disrespectful. But then you got to understand how to work with the producer where he will respect you or she will respect you being band director and not be disrespectful. But yeah, that was, that album, man, I need to go back and listen to that. But that was my favorite album. How hard is it to be MD? I was asked. Extremely. You're dealing with a whole lot of characters, a lot of personalities. And I will say this, like I said before, being MD is a friendless job because you need to make decisions that they will be ticked off at you. You need to, like, sometimes you need to dock them. Sometimes you need to get on their case. Sometimes you need to just flat out ignore them when you know they bringing bull. Sometimes you need to just, it's like you handling situations that they don't understand. And then you got people under you sometimes that don't respect you. They say they do, but they don't. But you still have to lead them. You still have to lead people even when they rip you to shreds. And I ain't talking about their opinion about you. I can handle the opinion. You played like trash. Okay, that's true. I did it. I can fix my trash. Or you ain't as sweet as you think you are. That's fine. I never said I was sweet. I just said God gave me a gift. You don't, this all subjective. I've never really been the kind of person to rip people to shreds because they have an opinion about me. Good opinions are opinions. Bad opinions are opinions. You don't let them get to you. But as MD, you have to lead these people and show a same amount of respect to people that you know are ripping you to shreds, that may be saying some really bad things about you that go far beyond professional. They're talking about your personal life, who you with, and all this other stuff, and you still have to lead them. It is a hard, friendless job sometimes. It's a hard job. My MD friends that's watching, that may watch this later, they would tell you it's very difficult. Everybody think it's 3, 6. I very rarely even do that. Even though I can, I very rarely do it. It's the other stuff, balancing payroll, hearing whining and crying and pouting and all this other stuff that you got to deal with. It's a good job. If you do a good job, it's rewarding, but it's friendless. Because a lot of those people, you do better just being regular in the bed with them. Because being leader, they put everything on you sometimes. Sometimes they can be unfair to you. They expect you to do some things that's not your job. And you got to pretty much, and let me say this and I'm going to move on. To be a good MD, you got to master the art of checking niggas. You got to master the art of checking niggas or ignoring niggas. And I said niggas, and I'm saying that hard because musicians, especially church musicians, are arguably the most arrogant people on the face of God's green earth. And every now and then, you're going to have to check them or just ignore them. And that's the real deal. Being an MD, you can't be weak. You have to put something out there. You need to stand on it. This is my way or the hard way. You come up in here, for example, my band know this is the uniform. And I'll be joking with them. You can wear a polo, a button up, or a sweater. No t-shirts, no wife or husband beaters, no none of that. You walk up in here with a t-shirt on, that's going to be a problem. And I do my talking on Tuesdays. That's when payroll is normally when I get to it. You contend that the traditional women present their submissive femininity right away with them. There's a level of submission presented before marriage as a precursor. Is that a question or a statement, Brenda? And honestly, I'm going to get to the questions that I asked a few weeks ago. I'm going to leave with that, by the way. I haven't forgotten. But yeah, it is. Somebody sent me a fun question. It's a personal question, but it's one of the few that I will answer. Do you like, well, as far as my plan, it's not really personal. Y'all don't know, well, some of you probably do if you go back. I had locks, and my locks were long. I had locks. They were long. Sometimes they were down here. I remember one point they were all the way down my back. And the question was asked, which bass version of you do you think you was the best at? Lock D or clean cut D? I will tell you this. The locks and goatee D was more aggressive, but he was also overly aggressive at times. Like he had so much in his brain that he wanted to bring out to play. And even though when I play records, I did learn that. Thank you, Ferris Evans, teaching me how to play the record. But when them gigs come, oh yeah, it was all over the place. I tell you that. I was more aggressive. Clean cut D is more seasoned, but actually I'm much better bass player than Lock, the one with the locks. Even though he was creative, he could do all this crazy stuff, I can still do that. But the clean cut, which is more mature, learned how to do that in spots. I learned how to, when it's time to go, you go. But when it's not time to go, you chill. You chill until it's time to go. You got your spots. Now, New G is a very, very aggressive gig. You gonna go pretty much majority of the time. But that's not the only, like when I play for the Tommies, I'm just grooving. And I do every now and then I do something, but most of the time I'm there. When I play for Marvin Sapp, when Curtis calls me, I'm pretty much chilling. I play the song. I mean, I give him what he's wanted. Hopefully I do. Curtis, if you should see this, hopefully I'll give you what you want. But for the most part, I try to, do that. But I think the clean cut, I've learned more. I've learned from great bass players, Rob Woolridge, Ryan Miz-Brown, which is crazy because when he was coming up, he was learning from me. Now I'm learning from him. I'm learning from, who is that? Paul Jones, Rodney Jones, all the bass players here, Thad Johnson. So I think by me being around them, when I would have my locks, I wasn't really in Chicago. I didn't really come around like that. But now that I'm in Chicago more than I am in anywhere else, I've come to learn more about this instrument that I play. So, who's your mentor? Oh, okay. Who's your mentor and why? I don't have a mentor now. Oh, I don't have a mentor, but I have people that I'm accountable to, if that makes sense. One of the people that pours into me, pause, his name is Cimarron Dawson. I say he's my de facto pastor. He keeps me in check. You know, he gives me words and knowledge. He helps me along, but we peers, you know, so, but he still, I kind of have that respect for him in that regard. But as far as mentors, I don't really have any. I don't have any mentors like that. I just have people that I'm accountable to. I have accountability partners. That's what I have. That's what I kind of look at. Huh? If you get no, it won't. The aggression won't return. It won't return. Okay, likewise. Do you believe it's appropriate for a man like you with a busy schedule to start reprioritizing now, rearranging your schedule now to show a woman how you intend to make time for that for them? The problem with that, Brenda, is when you start to make a certain amount of money, you work more. That's so I'm if I was to marry somebody that made what I make and we decided that our finances would be our finances together, then yeah, we would talk and we would assess. I would be more than happy to let some of this stuff go and be at home, if that's what you're asking. I will, but I understand that some women don't want that. They want you to be able to provide, and I have to provide, which means I have to work. And when you make decent money, you work longer hours. Unfortunately, that's my life right now. But I would make time. I'm not always going. I'm just going a lot. I'm not always going, if that makes sense. Do you like to play with pocket drummers or aggressive drummers? I like aggressive drummers. Yeah, if we faint not, it's 185. If we faint not, it's 185, y'all. That's the tempo if we faint not. 185. Bass players, post this, y'all, this part of it. You can clip it, whatever. I want the bass players to play shout music in 185 and just send it to my inbox. Let me hear you. Post it, tag me, or whatever. I want to see y'all play. You can play if we faint not if you want to. I want to see y'all do it. Play it, not just 2 minutes. See if you can go walking the whole time. 185. Let me see you can do it. I think a lot of you can do it, but I think it'll be fun. Yeah. I like aggressive drummers. Q-Base, you are me. You better. Come on. You got it. Let me see it. Pause. Super duper pause, by the way. But aggressive drummers give me a chance to lay. I like, for example, when we with New G and Brent goes off, it's a video out there where he just went off, and I literally just sat there and watched him like, listen, this is your show, bro. You go. I'll wait till you done, and then we'll finish. Because he was just, but it's so freaking fast. But I like aggressive drummers. I'm a drummer at heart. I play bass, but I love aggressive drummers. Man, you listen. I love aggressive drummers. Pocket drummers, if I'm playing R&B, that's cool. But if I had a choice, I like aggressive drummers. I do. They playing with a gig with aggressive drummers. Now, having said that, be aggressive when it's time, but hit all these accents with us. Do not play through these accents. That drives me crazy as an MD. It drives me crazy as a producer. It just drives me crazy. Don't play through the accent. So if the song going you can still do that. Hit those accents and it will sound super dope. It's one drummer that I've been posting a lot lately. He does that a lot, and it's another drummer that did it. The one thing that I liked is on my page. The one reason why I liked it because the music was going crazy, but he still hit those accents with the bass and the music. That was amazing to me. He didn't just slap and they going it don't sound right. Hit those accents. Calvin Rogers is a master at that. When they did that Marvin Sapp, that last song, More Than a Conqueror, he hit all those accents while he was still doing the solo. That makes a difference. It really does make a difference. You don't play through those accents, drummers. Do not play through those accents. They are there for a reason. So I like aggressive drummers, just don't play through the accents. Okay, so here's a question. Did you see the Cheesecake Factory video? Yes, I did. What did you think about it? It was horrible, but it was a skit. It was a skit. It really was. But I like Cheesecake Factory. I don't eat beef like that these days, pause. But they make a shepherd pie that I love. And if I take you to a Cheesecake Factory and you give me any lip, he was, even though it was skit, he was better than me because your destination is Cheesecake Factory. Your subsequent ride home would have been an Uber that I'm not paying for. You want to get in my car, you make me wait an hour. First of all, I wouldn't wait an hour for nobody. If I'm there, if I say I'm picking you up at 4, I'll give you to like 4:05, 4:10. Anything outside of that, you don't respect my time, I'm pulling off. Where did you go? You ain't ready. Don't play with me. I don't play those games, which makes it the difference between men of a certain caliber. They don't play those games. We ain't got time to play games with you. We gonna tell you one thing. You got one time to mess that junk up, and we don't got time for it because those are games. If we say we got a date and I made reservations, and I say I will be there at 4, you better be looking out that window at 3:55 because I'm pulling up right at 4 or maybe 3:59 because I'm going to be excited to hang out with you. So I'm going to be really, to be honest with you, I probably will be in the area about to pull up so I can be there at 4. So you see you beautiful walking out. I may meet you at the door, most likely meet you at the door, give you a hug or whatever, and we can go on our way, If you like flowers, maybe we can do that. But I ain't nowhere in the world you gonna say, oh, I don't like Cheesecake Factory. Well, you can eat McDonald's on your ride home in your Uber. I don't do late. That's disrespectful. Here's another question. Do you think women should settle and men should settle? I think you should get what you qualify for. We need to end all the settling stuff. I appreciate the question. I answered it before. I think we should get rid of the whole settling thing. You get what you qualify for. Period. Do you ever play secular music? I have. It's not my thing. I can. And I like some secular songs, but I prefer to listen to it than to play it. Some songs, like if I get called to play like a wedding situation or something like that, I'll play it and I enjoy it. But secular music is for secular musicians. I mean, for people who want to play secular music. I'm not a secular musician. I like playing gospel, and that's my thing. I had opportunities to play secular, but I chose gospel, and I don't have any regrets. Yeah, you may make more money doing that, but I like playing gospel. That's what I love doing. That's why I feel home is for me. Can I play secular music? Yes. And it was funny to see one of my friends see me playing at a fest and we were playing secular. He's like, I didn't know you could play R&B. I was like, yeah, I can play R&B. But it's just, I like gospel. Gospel is never the same thing twice. Gospel gonna be all over the place. Secular music at a certain point, depending on who you with, it's the same vibe. Gospel music, you can play one artist and do all those vibes. I love gospel music. She said, I'm ready no later than 3:45. Right. You're going to be looking out that door. I'm going to pull up in my whip to get you. That's what y'all call it these days. How do I feel about mentoring? I used to be a proponent of mentoring, but I'm about to be honest, as transparent as I can be. I think it's a waste of time to a certain degree. Younger musicians, unfortunately, not all of them. I met quite a few when I was at AIM, and I was actually pleasantly surprised. But a lot of them, they got their own mode of doing things. And the Bible speaks about not giving your pearls to swine. I know what it was in context, what it was talking about. But it goes to mentorship too, for me. I love the Bible because it can be applicable to a whole lot of things. And when I come talking to you and I give you good advice, you pretty much just crap on me and you don't listen. The best honor you can give to your pastor is not dollars. It's not love offerings or benevolent offerings or whatever they call it, right? It's hearing his words and using that and applying and growing. That's the best honor you can give your pastor, is to let him know that you are listening and everything he's saying, you're grasping and you are applying it to your life and you are doing better. Mentors pretty much do the same thing. We give you this advice. We talk to you. We try to impart into you. We give you these nuggets of wisdom, but some of you don't want the nuggets of wisdom. You want the gig. You want to know what you need to do to get put on the gig. So we tell you things like, hey, what your professionalism was what's going to do it. You act a bigger butthole. Let me say this, and I'm going to be really clear. I don't do the big bro thing. I don't do the big bro thing. So I don't call people little bro. That's not my thing. I don't call you little bro. I treat you all like men. You are men. You're young men, but you're men. And I don't do the little bro thing because the little bro thing makes me feel like I'm daddying you. And I'm not your daddy. I'm not your big bro. I'm older than you. You can give me some respect, but some of y'all don't even respect older men. I have people half my age disrespectful. So when I don't have time to give out my wisdom, my time to give you advice for you to be a butthole. So no, I don't little bro you. I call you a man. I treat you like a man. And all the advice that I give you is for you to be a man, not for you to be a butthole. There be no gigs for you if you are a butthole, no matter how good you are. You're going to find out that every single time you get on a gig, it's going to end up the freaking same way. Why? Because the people you look up to, your quote unquote mentors, you are not listening to. You're not listening to. How do you know when you are in love? That's a really good question. I guess that's different for everybody. And the way I feel love is different from most. Most men don't. We have emotions, but we show our love in different ways. And most men, we show our love through acts of, gifts. We share our resources, we share our time with you. How do you know you in love? That's a good question. You really don't know, to be honest with you. Think about it. That can turn on because you can feel a certain way about somebody and then totally feel differently the next day. Can you honestly call that love? Hmm. That's a good question though. But yeah, I'm gonna get to you, Brenda, in a second. But mentorship, yeah, that's something that I'm like kind of like, I don't know if this is for me. Now, I do still share wisdom. I still give advice to people, especially when they call me, they say, hey, I need your help on something. I'm always gonna be there to help you. But as far as me taking on a mentorship, I don't know. I need to make sure your heart is right. Because if I pick out that that you're not really listening, number one, or that you just trying to get ahead and you using me to do it, I'm never gonna put you on the gig for one. Not like that. Cause I'm starting to really use this gift of discernment that I got. And I don't ignore it. So far, I haven't been wrong with some of you. And I demonstrated a level of grace for some, but won't last always. The disrespect is not warranted. Okay. How do you hidden talents? I have a few hidden talents. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Successful. Any regrets about your life? Yes. Oh yeah, quite a few. What makes you smile? Children. Children make me smile. That's that, and I now know that. Children make me smile. Children are so innocent, and it doesn't take much to make them happy. That's why I think that's probably why God was talking about that. You need to be like children. Children are so easy to, it doesn't take much to please them. I could go in a room 9, that's one of our 3-year-olds, one of our 3-year-old rooms, and I can make up a story about the dazzling donkey, and they will be attentive and just smiling. And I'm talking about all the kids, not just the the ones that you say, oh, she's so good. No, all of them, they sit and listen. They're so easily entertained. So they make me smile. I wish I could show a picture, but I can't because we have policies. But no, I'm not ticklish. Uh, it's a picture of the children I took, and they're actually when I go in room 9, it's my friend Kenya Mack. She's there, and her children just run to me, Mr. Hearne, and they 3-year-olds, and they just run to me, and it's like a group of like 10, 12 children just all around me, and I took a picture of them all looking up at me, smiling. Sometimes when I'm feeling away, I look at that picture and it gets me going. It's like, wow, that picture is just amazing to me to see them kids. They bring me joy, those kids, and yeah, there are some problematics with some of them, but even those kids, even every now and then, they make me smile. Even the ones that you think are problematic, they make you smile. Children just have a way to bring out that in you, if it's in you. If you're a nasty person, then they won't. Biggest fear, heights. Biggest life lesson, don't trust everybody. That's true. Any hope for Kaepernick to get back in the league soon? About as easy as the devil making it to the kingdom with God. Will you be doing any clinics soon? I was thinking about doing one online, to be honest with you. I was thinking about doing one online. The thing about clinics is take all that preparation. And like I said, time right now for me is kind of difficult. I got so much going on. But I was thinking about doing one online. I was thinking about it. Should everyone do podcasts? Yes. I'm not one of those people that feel like there's no such thing as relationship expert. First of all, I really don't think so because every relationship is different and no one person can dictate what's going to happen in every relationship. Only thing I share with you, I talk to men, I talk to a lot of people, and I share with you what the consensus is. That's it. But as far as the intricacies of a relationship between one man and one woman, nobody can dictate that, not even experts. They give you what they are trained to talk or tell you, but for the most part, that thing is too wild. But everybody want to get on everybody for doing podcasts. I want everybody to do a podcast. I think everybody should talk. I mean, if you don't like what they say, just don't listen. It's really that simple. Can you send me a playlist of traditional gospel music so I can be a dog on bass? I can do that actually. Did you find your bass? Nope. They still haven't found it. Don't ask me anything personal on here, Brenda. If you're going to ask me something personal, send it to my inbox, please. How do I feel about the current state of men and their role in the family? When this question was sent to me, it was the perfect time. You don't like aggressive women. Yeah, you're gonna have to ask me that in my inbox. I'm not. Yeah, that's too personal. I'm not gonna go that personal. But thank you. I appreciate it. This picture was sent to me. Y'all need to sit down for this. This is the last question, and then I got a couple questions. I'm gonna bring up something. I want you guys to support this brother. But check this out. Are we wearing tutus for our girls? While you're here, check out the amazing Super Baby coloring book created by an amazing dad, my husband, inspired by our son, made for all ages on Amazon. Now, here you see a picture of a man with his wife, and he has on a tutu. A tutu. I don't like it that men are always called to look emasculated, especially our men. It's like the softer they make us, the better we want to say, oh, he's such a good parent. Like they doing Dwayne Wade. That's not cool. Under no circumstances should a man be wearing a tutu. That's not for a man. That is not for a man. So I don't like the way society has tried to emasculate men. I don't, especially black men. It's always been in the playbook. So when I saw this, I was like, wow. Hey, Sharon, I love you. I love you, Sharon. This is my friend, y'all. One of the most amazing singers I've ever worked with. Hey, Sharon, okay, call me in a minute. I'm almost done here. Call me in a minute. I'm almost done here. Sharon did this video that didn't make Preachers Gone Wild because I understood what she was going for. She did a video where she was talking about how Christians could be acting like babies. And so she got dressed up in her baby gear and she was like, had a baby suit on and everything. I'm all for illustrations and everything else. And the video was amazingly it had a lot of information and she presented it in a way that I understood. And even listening to it again, I understood exactly where you were going, Sharon. You didn't make Preachers Go Wild because I agreed. It was nothing to be funny about. She dressed like a baby, and it was funny, y'all, because y'all forget this is how you act. So people like me, I'm looking at you and laughing anyway. Y'all wanted to try to make that a thing. It's not a thing. She actually taught that thing. And I'm not saying that's because it's my friend, it's my sister. I love her, but I'm saying this because I do believe in illustrations. I'm not gonna hawk spit and rub it in your face. That's what I'm not gonna do. So this is my friend. Sharon, ain't you on tour right now? We'll talk. We'll talk. You should be on stage at this very moment, unless you just got off. Pause. But anyway, it's this I can't see, it's called Deeper Discussions. I don't know if you can. It's called Deeper Discussions, right? And it's supposed to be for couples. It's supposed to be for couples. It's supposed to be for you to actually get more information about your relationship and help you gather a deeper understanding. So I'm going to do like 3, okay? I'm going to shuffle these up so you don't think that I actually looked at any. And I'm going to answer 3. This is called Deeper Discussions, Dating Edition. It's actually pretty good, and it may break up some relationships. So here's the first question. Let's do 3. Who is your favorite parent, and give 3 reasons why? Why isn't your other parent your favorite? I gotta answer it. My father was my favorite parent. And here's the reasons. Number 1, he was a man. He was able to connect with me as a man. My father taught me things about life that mother would want to defend or shield off. My father taught me things about life that he presented life to me. That makes sense. He didn't try to shield me from it. He showed me this is what it is. And he said, this is where you need to go. This is what you need to do. My father was a great man. And whereas he didn't raise a perfect man, because being a man is learning. You don't become a man until you actually experience being a man. You mature into a man. You mature into a man. You're not born a man. And bumps and bruises are going to happen. So whereas my father was a good teacher, a good leader, still I fell short in some ways. But he taught me a lot of things. Number 3, I hope she doesn't get mad, but I like my father's cooking. My father could cook everything. I remember the worst thing. My father's petty too. I don't think my mom knows this, but she's about to know it now. One day on my cousin's 21st birthday, I did the dumbest thing I ever could do. I caught myself getting out here and participating in the turn up. And yes, the turn up, whatever you consider turn up to be, I did that night, okay? Even though I didn't tope, y'all know what a shotgun is, that's what happened. I hope I don't get flagged for saying that. It's those of us, you know what it is, okay? It has nothing to do with a weapon, but that's what it was called. It was called an S gun. and I drank like the biggest 40 in the world. So you know those two things don't mix. I called my father at about 3 o'clock in the morning to come and get me. And amazingly, my father showed up and picked me up. He picked me up and took me home. But that very next morning, my father, who was a great cook, cooked the biggest breakfast in the world. We talking salmon, we talking bacon, sausage, pancakes, eggs. I don't know where my mom was. She wasn't there. She wasn't there. But he knew, I think he knew what happened that night before. And I was so sick I couldn't eat it. That's petty. Oh, yeah. Oh, she is here. Oh, yeah. Listen, I will never forget that. And I couldn't eat it. I couldn't eat it. None of them were there, actually. I think my brother was living in Kalamazoo at that time. But my father cooked that breakfast. I think he knew what he was doing. So, yeah, my father, I'm sorry, I liked his cooking because he used to make this thing. Anybody knows me know I love potatoes. I love potatoes. My one weakness for carbs is potatoes, for real. That's my one weakness, right? My father used to make these smothered country potatoes that with the works, and he used to cut up sausage and put it in there, and it was amazing. And he used to put biscuits, my father, oh God, don't make me cry. But my father was just, he was amazing. He was amazing. I'm sad he's gone, but yeah, he was petty too. Second question. What is your opinion about marriage? Is marriage something you're looking forward to? My opinion about marriage is wonderful. It is wonderful. I've seen my parents, man, they had a strong marriage. I believe they loved each other. I believe my aunt and her husband loved each other. I believe, man, I got quite a few good examples of marriage. I mean, not perfect, of course, but marriages that stayed together. And I love the idea of marriage. I love the idea of having somebody that has your back and somebody that you have their back and you love them and they love you and you're building a life together. I do see myself married. I believe I'm ready for marriage. But me personally, I'm the kind of person I don't think it should be. And it's crazy. I was just at a wedding Friday and he said something that people glossed over. He said, marriage is not something you enter lightly. I think that's the fine print a lot of people just gloss over. You don't enter into it lightly. You take your time. And regardless of what everybody say about it, you take your time because it's your life to live. I get tired of people trying to live their life in yours, what they would do. But you're not me. I make my decisions for me, and my decisions will be for me. And anybody has a problem with that, that's fine. But I'm not going to, as it relates to marriage or anything else life-changing, don't rush into it. Make sure it's right. Make sure the person is right. Make sure that most of those boxes you cross off. And here's the most important thing. Go to a marriage counselor that's going to drill y'all. Go to somebody somebody once said that if you leave a marriage session, counseling session, and you don't even think about not marrying this person, that person didn't do their job. They need to make sure that they are drilling you to the point that you like, man, do I really want to marry this nigga? Or this nigga, if it's a lady? Do I want to marry this person? And then once you assess that, then you say, you know what? This is something that I want, regardless of this. Because another part of the marriage that everybody gloss over is for better or for worse. Once you take those vows, that's it. That is it. Why do we take these vows and we plan on breaking them? There should never be an out clause. There should never be an out clause. Well, if I feel no, that's why I said earlier, I don't base my stuff based off of feelings because I can feel one way about you today. You get on my nerves, I'm like, But long term, I'm gonna think and say, nope, she brings me value. That's what I'm interested in. Do you bring me value? Do you bring me value? And she would know because I would tell her what I find value in. If you don't bring me value, you can't say, "Oh, I think I'm marriage material." You may be, just not for me. God bless you in your ministry. Let's do one more. Oh, no, I don't want to do this one. That's stupid. I mean, it's good, but I just don't want to do that. Oh, we'll do a couple more. Who is the priority in marriage? The married couple or the kids? This is a good one. I say the couple. I say the couple. Because if they fall apart, the children go fall apart. That's just my opinion. I think the couple. Y'all can say I'm wrong, but in the marriage, I think the marriage come first. My older pastor used to say this. Do you love them because you need them, or do you love them because you love them? Well, I guess I can see that. But I would say when you find somebody that's when you find value in somebody, it is to a point where you need them because they bring you value. If that makes sense. That's why I'll never really get with that. I don't want a man. I don't need a man. I want a man, or I don't need a woman. Even though I've very rarely heard men say they don't need women. But if it was to be said, I don't agree with it. I think if somebody brings you value and they can help excel your life to a different level, even if it's nothing else but to bring the peace that you may not have through the rest of the day, that's somebody that brings you value. You need that peace because you're gonna drive yourself crazy. So I don't know if I think you should need. I think that need is something because you would know when they're not there, that part is gone. That's value. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. If I thought your family, this is me, if I'm, say for instance, you are my woman. If I thought your family was toxic and dysfunctional, how would you say it? That's a question for you. Now, if somebody told me if my family was dysfunctional and toxic, I would tell them they're lying. My family's not dysfunctional, not my immediate family. We are very loving, very communicating bunch. We got a group right now that we actually talk. And we talk about a lot of stuff. Sometimes I talk about stuff I talk about here on the show. And my sister, my niece, and sometimes my mom, they get involved. Carl just, he don't care. He gets involved with the political talk, though. But yeah, I don't think my family, I would be like, no, that's cap. My family's not dysfunctional. But I've experienced where I had to tell somebody. Because believe it or not, if their family is dysfunctional and toxic, they raised them. That should be something you should look at. This person raised you and they're toxic. These people raised you and they're toxic, or your sister's toxic, your brother's toxic, your dog's toxic, your cat is toxic. Even the rats come out, they toxic. The roaches are toxic. Everything is just toxic. But you, the one thing that came out unblemished. That's crazy. I think these cards, I'm liking this because it's giving you a chance to learn that other person, what they think. This is a game. It's called Deeper Discussions. I think you should get this and have these conversations. I'm going to use this. One more. Let's do one more. Good Lord. Brenda just asked this. What is one thing you regret in life? Describe something you should not have done. I dropped out of school. I was in school when I was younger for mechanical engineering technology. Yes, mechanical engineering technology. I was always smart. And I dropped out for a reason that, looking back, I shouldn't have. I should have just stayed in school. I should have just did my due diligence. I don't think I regret it because had I stayed in school, I don't think I would have been able to travel. I've been all around this world. I've traveled and done a lot of things. So that part of it, I don't regret. But there are some things I do regret with that decision. And yeah, if I could go back, would I do it again? Not knowing what I know now, I would have changed a couple of things. But that dropping out of school, I don't think so. I've been all over. I've experienced life in a way that most people won't. I've been around this world. I've traveled. I've done this thing, and I've did it doing something that most people wish they could do. I traveled the world playing an instrument that I love to play. I have no regrets on that. I could have done it differently, but ultimately, I don't have regrets in that. I'm okay with it. Okay, this is the last one. What is the craziest thing I'll sooner or later find out about you and your family if we continue to get closer? So if somebody was to ask me this, what is the craziest thing I'll sooner or later find out about you or your family if we continue to get closer? Y'all gonna think I'm crazy. But when I'm preparing to do these shows or when I'm doing music or anything, I talk to myself. I say, no, that ain't it, or that ain't it. Or like when I'm preparing to do the show, I'm actually talking like I am this show. And I'm like actually thinking of questions or some of your responses or some of the things that I may want to say. So some people looking at that be like, is this dude crazy? Why is he talking to himself? Why is he doing that? So some people really irked by that. And I think, and when I'm doing music, I'm like, no, D, don't do that. I'm my own worst critic. Like if I'm practicing, I'm like, oh, that sucked. You could do better. I'm in here recording, right? And I'll be like, it's a better take. You got a better take. You got a better take. I get that from Ferris Evans, though. He used to always say that. And he used to always tell me, you think you got a better take. You always do that. You always think it's a better take. Man, that was wisdom. Sometimes it's better to just let it just be. But I always talk to myself. I'll be like, man, Derek, you got a better take. You got a better take. You got a better take. So something about my family. Don't play with me. That's something about my family. My sister, my niece are very protective of me. They don't think it's a woman out here good enough for me. To be honest with you, my sister don't think it's a woman out here good enough for me. And most sisters are like that. So don't look at her like she's crazy. Sisters, she look at her brother. She says he's successful. He has a good career that he loves. He loves working with children, and he plays bass. He's in one of the most premier churches in the area, Powerhouse Chicago, with a well-known bishop. He's traveling the world. He's smart. He's educated. He's got degrees. He's this. He's funny. He's this. This woman got to be special. So if my sister even think you got something false going on, it's gonna be a problem. And some people can't handle it because my sister doesn't sugarcoat anything. She lets you know she got a problem with you. My niece, she a little bit witty. She like me. I think she's really witty. And she'll go there with you too. They don't think it's a woman good enough for me. Even though it most likely is. It is. But they will never think that. And that's what they do. That's sisters. My sister's the oldest. I'm the baby. She's the one that says, hey, nobody, and it's not just me. Don't feel bad. She feel like that about my other brother too. Nobody's good enough. But that's just the way we are. And if some people can't handle how closely knit my family is. We're really, really close. But we've been through a lot. And I think once my father passed, we become closer. We bond. That's my family. And we are, that's why somebody was to say you toxic, my family's toxic. No, we love each other. We have a genuine love. When we come together, like for holidays, it's so peaceful. It's like serene. We have a genuine love for each other that can never be it's unmatched. And some people feel like that's, if you grew up with your mama and your daddy fighting and beating each other up the whole time, you may not understand that. You may not understand that. But it's nothing about my family that you wouldn't like. And they are very accepting. They just don't mess with me. They don't play. They don't play. But I think again, by this game, this is deeper discussions. I like this. I'm gonna have to use this. I think this could be something because a lot of times we go out on dates and you don't know, which is sad. Some of you men don't know how to have conversations. You don't know how to navigate through conversations. And I think this is a game that will help you. Okay? The baby. Yep. That's why yeah. My dude, another one of my friends, y'all. He makes bases. And one day he'll make me one. I surely can use it now. But anyway, saying Nigerians. Wait, you are Nigerian? I didn't know that, Brenda. You're Nigerian. Wow. That's crazy. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm gonna jump off of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It was 11 o'clock. I made only 2 hours. But it was fun. I love doing this show. Next week we do profits, okay? Get a profit. Tag a profit today. Tag a profit. I want them on the show. I want to talk to them. Let's have fun. Okay? I can't even pronounce your last name. You're gonna have to tell me your last name. But I'm about to jump off of here, y'all. I love you guys. Take care.